Hi guys, it's Vittorio, and today it's actually tonight for us in Italy, but it's today anyway. I want to read you a story I've just written today. It's about a saga, fan-made saga that I will someday dream to be official and bought by V&MB Producciones. It's called Vittorio and Maria Bianca, and the book that I have in an actual paper. It's called Vittorio and Maria Bianca, a disastrous day in San Lorenzo. But before reading the story, cue the theme song. Okay, that's close enough. Now, time for the reading part. So, Vittoria and Maria Bianca, Vittoria, that's me, and Maria Bianca, a fictional character, are a chicken and a fox, brother and a sister, and are the children of the celestial princess. That later, when I will read the story, you'll understand who she is. So, Vittoria and Maria Bianca had gone on a vacation to San Lorenzo, Lola and Virginia's famous hometown. The trip had lasted 24 hours, so they woke up in the morning. They had a breakfast, then went to visit San Lorenzo High. Lola, who was passing by, met them and gave them a tour of the school. Wow, this school is huge. How do these kids manage to stay here? Vittorio said in a slightly frightened tone, fearing that the school might collapse. Mary Bianca, sniffing the ground because she's a fox, went inside to see the various things open for the open house. They also met various people participating in the event, including Edgy, Yukio, Luis, Heidi, Poppy, Lucas, Chuck, Charlie, and the rest of the gang. Everything seemed to be going well until they ran into the mean, blonde, rich girl, Virginia Tofen. Virginia, who always thinks she's the center of the universe, looked at the three with malice and said to Lola, Lola, darling, how can you give a tour of our school to a chicken and a fox if they're animals that chase each other? But Fluffy, they came for a vacation and to visit our school. Why don't you go on? Lola said hatefully. The blonde girl wanted to make Victoria and Mary Bianca suffer, but she didn't know that they were, even if animals, children of the celestial princess. So while Victoria and Mary Bianca were learning the secrets of science and chemistry with the twins Edgy and Yukio, Virginia sneaked in, her eyes purple with malice, and pushed Vittorio to the ground, then trapped Mary Bianca inside a skeleton. Eiji and Yukio were so frightened and shocked by the crime that they turned on the rascal, who ran away laughing. Are you okay? Yukio said as he freed Maria Bianca from the skeleton. The chicken and the fox didn't know what to say, so speechless were they by the crime. The nerd twins were so worried that they called Lola and had her come here to tell her what happened. But not only did Lola hear about that, but so did the Celestial Princess, their mother, and here's the explication of this fictional character who's actually based on a real symbol, the angel. The Celestial Princess, who is a royal angel, daughter of the Sun King and Moon Queen, because their faces appear in those sometimes. But the Celestial Princess is also the angelic goddess of thunderstorms and lightning. And it's told that everyone fears her wrath everyone fears her, especially when she unleashes her wrath because she causes a very huge thunderstorm. At some point after the open house, the two animals were traumatized, but then a letter found from their mother that read, "My darlings, I heard that Virginia Toffin traumatized you while you were looking at aging Yukio's lab. She won't go unpunished for this. This afternoon. Prepare yourselves, because I will unleash my wrath on her, and Mr. and Mrs. Topham will be also punished for raising such a mean, terrible daughter." The letter scared Vitoma and Bianca quite a bit for the simple fact that Mr. and Mrs. Topham will also be punished. They are completely innocent, and Vittoria Maria Bianca feels sorry for them. That it's not their fault that Virginia is like this. So they called their angelic counterparts, explained what the princess was supposed to do to the Tophans, and said, "Dear angelic versions, when you go to the Topham Toilet Paper Company this afternoon, we need you to go to the Topham Toilet Paper Company this afternoon so we can make them a deal for the security of the building. And damn it, or damn Virginia, don't even mind about this. We don't want innocent people to be punished too." So the two angels figure out the plan, began disguising themselves as businessmen and businesswomen. Angelic Victoria was straggling Angelic Maribena to look tall, and went there. As soon as it was precisely afternoon, they called the Tophans using Samantha's number, who you already know is the wife of the toilet paper company president William Topham. Told them about the important business deal, went to their workhouse and held a meeting. Even though Angelic Victoria Maria Bianca know nothing about business, which was a bit of a disaster because the Dolphins didn't understand anything they said, because they don't know how to do things with money. And they left refusing the deal. Meanwhile, the Celestial Princess unleashed a storm, and with it, her wrath. She went to the Topham Villa, opened the door, blocked Virginia, and said she would have to pay the consequences. Vittoria Maria Bianca breathed a sigh of relief, but only until the angels, obviously their angelic counterparts, called them and said that the Tophans were returning home because they had refused the deal. And that was the last straw because they knew the Tophans were screwed. They desperately tried to keep out so they wouldn't experience the prince's wrath. They tried, but the princess saw them from inside and said to her children, "Give me the Tophans, let them experience my wrath." Unfortunately, they gave in, but the goddess scanned them with her scepter, realized that Virginia was the problem, and left them. Well, to make this thing more detailed, the princess wasn't originally supposed to do that before. So she actually trapped them in a golden jail while she sent Virginia to her room, completely punished. But Toma and Bianca were terribly sorry for Mr. and Mrs. Tofen, and in their minds they thought that mom always had to punish that that the celestial princess has the bad habit. I'm sorry guys, but I'm feeling cold. That the celestial princess has the bad habit of punishing innocent people sometimes. And that's kind of concerning because the Toffins were good persons, but don't even think about this. And they wanted to do that, but Aunt Harley Quinn, yes, the Celestial Princess also has two sisters that are also her handmaidens, Aunt Beautiful Fairy, our wise and calm aunt, And Aunt Harley Quinn, which is very fast, energetic, witty, and sometimes very scary when she's angry. She had seen us first, with the top and Fleet, but she turned angry because the Celestial Princess, of course their mother, has told them not to let Toffins out. And the toy maker wanted to explain them. She was calling the Celestial Princess, but they tried to say to Aunt Harley that she shouldn't call her. And they told her that the Toffins were innocent, not Virginia because she has done the damage. The Aunt Harley agreed, and so she accepted the idea. Even Aunt Beautiful Fairy. Mom was going to unleash the biggest lightning she has ever released, but the toy gang actually prevent her from doing it because they don't want her to burn the whole house. Then they calmed her with a rose because roses are the best things to call, especially an angry angel woman. They did it and explained everything. Mom was touched by the Sphinx, so she freed Mr. and Mrs. Toffen and actually apologized to them. And they said to her next, and they and she and they heard that the next time they should raise her daughter much longer. That's the end of the story. And I hope Miriam actually likes my story. And also, on January, I started to make the first ever shots of the project that if Miriam accepts, I'll be making in collaboration with NB Producciones. And and I'll see if she accepted. So guys, like, share, and subscribe to my channel because I'll be making more stories. And also, this story is not AI generated. It's completely written from me on my computer, and I've translated it in lots of languages. So this is the end of story time with Victoria. And good night.